This is EB3, speaking the truth in love, and I just come on for a few minutes to give you guys a word of encouragement. If you like this video and want more like it, like, subscribe, and drop a comment. So I'm going to read Psalms 128, the King James Version. It said, "Blessed is everyone that feareth the Lord, that walketh in his ways. For thou shalt eat the labor of thine hands. Happy shall thou be, and it shall be well with thee. Thy wife shall be as a fruitful vine by the sides of thine house. Thy children like olive plants round about thy table. Behold, that thus shall the man be blessed that feareth the Lord. The Lord shall bless thee out of Zion, and thou shalt see the good of it, Jerusalem, all the days of thy life. Yea, thou shalt see thy children in peace upon Israel." So we see that in this short little psalm, it's only got 6 verses, that number one, if you walk with God, if you walk after his ways, he will bless you. And again, it talks about, it sounds like it's mostly talking about a man, right? And it's nothing sexist about it. But in this particular case, it's just saying that a man who is the responsible person of the house, he's responsible, he's the head of the house, he's a leader, he's the shepherd of the house. That's what we believe. We believe the Bible, right? So the man is blessed when his wife is fruitful. In other words, when his wife can have children, when his wife can help him build, when his wife is a blessing to him. That's the word. And then when his children are plenty, like he got a lot of children. He's got a lot of children, but not only does he have a lot of children, those children are doing what they're supposed to be doing. They're walking after God. They're doing, and they've been raised to love God. They're walking in the ways of God. That is the sure sign that a man is not only walking with God, but that God has blessed him, according to Psalms 128. So I ponder this because I wonder, when did it, and I know some of you guys that are looking at this video smarter than I am, but I ponder in my heart sometimes, when did it become, in the church, like I know when it became this way in the world, but in the church, when did it become that the more children you have, something's wrong with you? Or if someone tried to stay after infidelity or after whatever situation, maybe the couple lost the house or whatever the situation is, when people try to stay and work things out, when they try to stay together for the family, when did that become a bad thing? That's what I want to know. Once you, first of all, give your life to Christ, it's no more about you, but it's Christ that lives on the inside of you. And you become a servant of Christ, right? You are a child of God. You are a servant. What do servants do? They serve. They do things. They do things for other people, right? So if for no other reason, trying to build a God-fearing family, children. You know, right now we are in a generation where we're talking about generational wealth. That's great. But my prayer is that I have generations that serve God with their whole heart, soul, and mind. Because what does it profit a man to gain the whole world and then lose his soul? So I can gain a lot of money. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. But what I'm saying is that's a good thing, because the Bible does tell us that we should leave a heritage for our children, right? So that's a good thing. But I think we need to go back and really re-examine putting God first, family, church, then career, then everything else under that. Why do I say that? Because you got to put God first, because he's the head. He's the ultimate head, right? And then if you're putting God first, then that means you're going to observe the things and you're going to do things according to the way he set them up. So the first thing he set up was the family. The first institution, if you want to call it, that he set up was the family, because he gave Adam a wife, Eve, right? So that was the first thing he did. And then after man's fall, then he gave them children. Pretty much, because he said that Eve would give birth in pain, basically, to put it in today's language. Eve is going to give birth in pain. And believe me, that is pain. Okay, so then that was the first thing he established. And then everything else was established after that. Because you got to understand that he had already established his relationship with Adam. So, you know, Adam was already his creation, his child, his own, right? Adam already belonged to him. And so after that, he created family. So, and he gave them specific roles. And I think that if we go back to doing the roles according to the Bible, and I know it's old-fashioned, all that stuff, but it works. The Word of God does not change. It doesn't change for me. It doesn't change for you. It works. And if we can, especially God's people, if we can go back to believe in God and taking him at his word and trusting him, that if we do it his way, it's going to work out. Because somewhere along the way, we've gotten off the track. You know, people make fun of folks that have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 children. But if the Lord bless you with 20 children, then he's going to give you a way to take care of them. Now, should people constantly getting babies out of wedlock? That's not God's way. That's not me judging it. I'm just saying that that's not God's way. And it's probably not going to work out. Sometimes, because, listen, sometimes God says that he reigns on the just and the unjust. So there's times when even the unjust, their children will prosper. Because God reigns on the just and the unjust. And sometimes the just, their children don't prosper as much. Because God reigns on the just as well as the unjust. But everything, once you belong to Christ, everything is for a purpose. And we gotta recognize that, and we gotta believe that, and we gotta walk in it. Listen, there's no way around it. It's either God's way or no way. I mean, anything else is, you're going to be miserable. If you don't build your household according to the Bible, it's bound to be problems that you never thought would ever happen. But if you would put your trust in God, and if you would raise your children the way God said it, if you would stay with your marriage. Now, I'm not telling somebody to stay in an abusive marriage. I've done a video about that before. You know, abuse don't end well. Abuse don't end well. So that is not me advocating for that. But I am saying that just because you feel like it's boring, just because you feel like, he worked too much or she worked too much, they're not giving you all the attention that you want, whether it's the man or the woman, that is not a reason to get divorced. If there is no infidelity, and if there's nobody putting their hands on you or belittling you every day, what's the problem? Anything else, you just go to God to prayer and ask God to help you, because sometimes it's your own insecurities. And if it's something on the inside of you, it don't matter who you marry, you're never going to be happy. And you would find yourself being married 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times and not happy yet. That's just the way it is. Some of these things we got to learn how to deal with our own hurts, our own insecurities, our own childhood problems. We've got to learn how to deal with those things. The words that people said to us. We've got to learn how to deal with us, with ourselves. It's better to do that before you get married, but a lot of times people don't even realize how damaged they are when they come into a relationship. So, but once you become a born-again believer, if you haven't worked on those things before, then that is the perfect time to start working on it. And sometimes you can work together as a couple. But all I'm saying is, let God build you, because you're a house too. Let God build you, and then let Him build your marriage, and let Him build your house, your family. Anyway, this has been EB3, Speaking of Truth and Love. If you like this video and you want more content like it, like, subscribe, drop a comment, and be blessed and be a blessing. I am out.